amazing souls, welcome back to another episode with me on my channel Cosmic Contracts with Princess Starlight. So today I was connecting with my guardian angel, and he's not an angel but he's a guardian to me. I feel very strongly connected to him. Before I talk about him, I'll first talk about daydreaming. All right? If you are a heavy daydreamer, what does that mean? That means that in this world, definitely people will tell you that, oh, daydreaming, you are in your fantasy world and you really need to get out of it, and all these things will be told to you, all right? But daydreaming is actually connecting you to your spiritual world, all right? The world that is unseen from this physical dimension, but it very well exists. So I have always been called a heavy daydreamer. And when I started having my spiritual awakening, that's when I realized. Initially I was scared because the more I daydream, started dreaming about, daydreaming about mythical creatures, or light beings, and that I am roaming and traveling the universe with them, temples of light, so many things. I initially got scared because I thought maybe I'll get lost into the spiral. It's like a rabbit hole, right? So you really think where I'm going to land up, and sometimes, yes, definitely, if you get lost in the rabbit hole, things can go downhill. So really, it's all about when you go into this loop, this spiral, remember, balance is very important. If you have seen this movie Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio, he always has this tiptoe thing to rotate to know whether he is in reality or not. So you really need to get balance. Always know how to uh, pull yourself back into the reality, because you really need to be grounded here as well. There's no point always staying in the dream state and then not being able to come back to reality. The only reason for incarnating here is because you have come here to do certain work. You have a duty to serve in some way, all right? You're here to serve this planet, the souls. And if you are still just living here, or living here in this in this reality of 3D existence, then what's going to happen? You won't be able to live either here or here. Like, you really need to bring the balance. Your work is to be the bridge between these two, this world. So I'm now gonna write spiritual world, not daydream. All right, spiritual world and the physical world. All right, this is the 3D world in which we have incarnated. So our job is to make the bridge. All right, we connect through our thoughts, we connect through our feelings. Okay, and then imagination. Because of this, we are going to have imagination. But when you have imagination, you have to also bring that to the ground level, that is the physical world, and manifest it physically. All right, so you have to manifest, and for that you need to be grounded in the physical world. Now, for a long time, either I was here lost in this world and not grounding myself, or I was grounding myself way too much in the 3D reality and not connecting, because I would fear that this fear entered me, that if I was still too much in my daydreaming and not grounding myself, not disconnecting myself completely from the reality, then I will get lost in that. So I started fearing that, and this went on for quite some time. I would say half a year or so before I completely stopped. The moment I started daydreaming, I would try to pull myself out of it, or not be that open to it. Like, whatever I was seeing in my daydreaming, I would not open myself to it, and that became a hindrance, because you really have to believe that it's not daydreaming at all. It is that you are tuned into Okay, you are tuned into the spiritual or magical, whatever you call that, all right, but there are realms above, and your mind, your energy, your heart space, your energy, all right, it's all tuned in. The vibration of your soul is tuned into this world. So here we called it daydreaming, but it is not daydreaming. How do you know you are daydreaming? If you are in a situation like, for I'll give from my example. If I'm in parties where people are just gossiping, judging, these are very low energies. Before, when I did not understand the concept of energy, I would go and I would get completely drained immediately, and at times it would take me days to recover. Okay, so I never realized why. Going to school, the moment classes would start, I would zone out from the classroom. It's like I'm there, but I'm not there. So, zoning out will be a huge problem. When you cannot connect to your friends, they are shopping, they are too much partying, shopping, the college phase in short, right? For some time you will feel connected to it, but there will come very quickly in your life a phase will come where you will start, you won't feel the connection to this outer world activities anymore. So outer world activities can be, let's say, in short, any outer activities that separate you from your inner world. Okay, because you are a being who's supposed to work on their inner world, manifest, then manifest your desires, and then bring them into the physical reality. There are steps, there are many processes in that, and how you're going to know what you want, how you're going to ground, how you're going to get out and bring out that into your physical world. So there are the processes in that. So for that, you have to first work on yourself. How do you work on yourself? That's another process altogether. All right. So I won't be able to cover everything, but this is what I do with my clients. There are clients who are already awake, who know what they want, and it's just like they're going round and round in the spiral, or maybe having other fears, or they're not that much open to what they see or what they believe within themselves. Remember, it's not like, for some, yes, definitely they can see, but see beings from the other realms, but mostly all of us are, we feel it to our bones that yes, somebody is around us, that yes, what you're feeling or seeing or what we think it is, it's like, it's truly deeply encoded in us. So it's not like somebody will just appear, like the ascended masters will appear in front of you and they'll be like, this is what you need to do. You have to believe your inner intuition and bring that out. All right, so this is what I help with also in one way for my clients. And then friends. All right, so what happens is, whether it was your school friend, college friend, like I'll tell you, I was in law school, so it was for 5 years, and for that, within 2 years, I think all the outer activities that the other people used to do, which was very common, like going to parties or going out shopping, food, dining, drinking, whatever it was, all these things soon, it was like I came to a point very quickly where I'm like, how long, but you just feel complete disconnection. You won't be able to connect anymore. You just want, there was something which I could not realize. Now obviously after the awakening, it's like I have to connect with my inner world, but before that I was like, why is it that I'm not able to connect and the rest are still happy with that lifestyle? So it's about, quickly you get bored of the outer activities because you're highly tuned into your inner world. You're highly, through your daydreaming or your fantasy world, you are connected to the realms above. Your soul is more tuned into the realms that you connect through from your inner world. All right, it's like your inner world is a doorway. It's a doorway that will connect you to the other realms. And that means I will have to shut completely. This is one outer world. No matter how much you are lost in your outer world, sooner or later, nothing will excite you, nothing will bring out joy in you, and you will feel disconnected. Even if it's your family, like mostly all the star seeds and light workers, they feel that they are like the black sheep in the family. I felt that, and then when I started meeting my clients for helping them out, they said the same term again and again, that we feel like the black sheep. Yes, you're going to feel like a black sheep because you're not supposed to adjust into the 3D system. 3D system, like, they will tell you, okay, so in the 3D system, they'll say you have to go to school, get good grades. Okay, so good grades, then let's start from here. Okay, so you first go to school and build up yourself with good grades, then you get into college, again you get good grades, and then you have to get first and everything. So with good grades you'll get a good job, then by job, then say by this age you need to have your certain bank balance, and then by this age you need to get married, by this age you need to have child, and family, you need to start your family, and then by 50 you need to start thinking about your retirement plan. So it's like everything is kind of planned, don't you see, that all from start to the end of your life, they're telling you this has to be done. So it's like, a system, a structure has been set up, and you have to follow that. But light workers and star seeds, right from school to growing up, they won't feel connected anywhere. They'll always fall short, they'll always not be able to adjust, and in that they'll collect a lot of feelings of feeling insecure, or not or feeling unworthy. All right, unworthy, then you will feel like you'll have low self esteem. These are most of the things that I went through. Cannot speak up for yourself. All right, and cannot speak up, then mostly you'll hear terms like that you're naive, or you are dumb, or the outer world, the world outside is going to crush you because you're too kind and sensitive, and all these things you're going to hear. Because the thing is, we did not firstly come to adjust here. No, you did not come to adjust here. You came here to bring out world through your creation. So basically you incarnated, and through you create a world. Like people create business, people create their own work and everything, right? Like inventors, you have to bring out a world which has more love, more peace, more happiness, whatever it is for you. You will feel an inclination, like some people feel inclination to work for animals, or for kids, or for older people. Like you will see a problem somewhere and you will truly feel connected to it. So again, there is a point where you can, if you feel connected to something, and you truly feel that this is kind of a trouble in the world, and people are not focusing, but your focus is going again and again to that particular place, that means there is your mission. Very general, that is your mission, you can figure it out. All right, again, I work with the same thing with my clients. Like I remember I ended up having a client, and she kept talking about animals, her love for animals, and she always kept seeing dead animals lying on the road and people not caring about it. So I thought maybe, maybe it's happening like once a year or a couple of years. And she said it's recurring for her, and every other month or so she finds herself in the same situation, that there are animals dead and there is nobody to take care of them, and I feel very guilty and bad about it. I'm like, why are you guilty about it? She said, I don't have money to help them, I cannot pick up their bodies and bury them, but I feel really bad for them. But I said it's all right. So she is collecting guilt in her, and she very well knows that this animal thing, that nobody cares for the dead animals, is really bothering her. But because she's not able to help, she's collecting a lot of guilt in her, blocking her energy chakras in major way, and she has no idea. She's talking all the things about it, but she has no idea that all this is affecting her. And when I asked her to go deep in using, so this is one new thing I have learned within last few months, that now rather than fearing, I have opened myself to these dream or fantasy worlds, because they create a bridge. And when I take my clients to that to the other side of the bridge, and I ask them to, get with the creature, with the beings of light and the mythical creatures and animals, I take them for a beautiful ride. And when we go for that ride in those worlds, then things come out. And she ended up saying that, I want to do so and so. She clearly stated the plan. And I'm like, you already know the plan. She said, yeah, I know, but it's just that I don't know the way. You see, so you already know the plan, what you want to do. She already was sitting with a plan for years. This is happening with her since school days, and for past couple of years she said this thing that she kept seeing dead animals was recurring every other month for her. And then when we dug in after getting into that dream world, so when you get to the other side of the bridge, what happens is you disconnect yourself from the rules and regulations of the outer world, and you come here where you feel you are free, you can be anything. And that space, that expansion of consciousness, that here you're tied up, here you feel suffocated, here you have to follow the rules and regulations. But when you cross over this bridge and you come here, where you try to, even if you do not believe, when generally I have clients who believe, but then when there are people who are not that open to this world, even then when I take them for a ride, it's like, the sense, this energy that they get in, that they are free here, they can be open, they can express their true self. Like one of the clients said, she felt like when I took her there, she was like, oh, I for some reason thought I'm a banana bread, and I'm wearing this yellow color. And that but very day I had ascended master to me, and I had done that episode, all right. So she said the particular things, and I knew why the ascended master came to me, because I had to guide her towards the master, because she, from there she will find out who she is. So she just woke up to her light worker mission, so congratulations. And then when I took her there, she was like, I just saw myself being a banana bread and free, and roaming with my child. It was such a beautiful imagination. Here it's like, if you try to do these things here, you'll be like you'll be like, what silly thoughts, or you will try to think that it's nothing important. But remember, always what you feel, what you think, what you vision is directing you towards something. All right, so enough about this situation. So that's why being the channeler, the bridge, we get here, get retrieve information, come back. But what I have always found is that the soul already knows the plan. It's just about they're lost in this, this spiral, right? They are lost in this spiral, and they just keep going down because of all the rules and regulations and being stuck in this 3D world. So it's affecting your belief system, your thoughts, your feelings, and you never really take out time to know who you are. That's very important. If you do not do that, you will be lost in this spiral. And that's what you have to do to get out of the spiral and align yourself to your soul's blueprint. All right. So if you are daydreaming, first remember how you're going to balance. That's first thing. Second thing, please do not give in to fear, because if you give in to fear, you won't be able to open yourself up. Your visions, your thoughts are trying to uh, show you something. So you have to be really open to it. Otherwise, if you are closed, if you're not open, then whatever is meant for you will not flow towards you, because fear is going to create a block. And if it's blocked, then whatever universe was trying to send you, fear and logic. So if you put your logical mind to it, you won't be able to derive the meaning. Okay. And when you do that, you so balance, removing fear and logic. Try to not get into this, so that your portals of connection to this bridge, where is the bridge, yes, this bridge from 3D existence to the 5D and other realms above, this bridge that you are, right, you know how to open. You have to create this bridge, and it will not happen in one day. You have to be patient, become still, and start tapping into these things, okay? And then with that, remember, you create the connection, but also one thing is to ground yourself in reality, because you have incarnated here. So you have to bring some work to the ground level. You can think of a beautiful building, but you have to create the foundation and start building it up, right? So you have to ground that reality and then bring that into the physical world or the 3D world. So you're so if you are one of that, and also because maybe you are a clairvoyant, like when I was told that I'm a clairvoyant, I was like, okay, what does this even mean? I can see things and whatnot. I was like, no, 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 this is not me. But what happened was, soon through my meditations, I realized that all my life since a child, I have been a clairvoyant only. But the thing is, due to certain things, my third eye is right now closed. So very slightly it is open, which helps me see visions or pictures or words or files or records, whatever it is. And with that little opening only, I am able to connect and retrieve information for people and myself also, right? This is what I do for my clients, for my family members, for myself, my friends, however I can help somebody with all this, creating the bridge. All right, so creating the bridge between that world and this world. So I'm a bridge, a channeler, right? So I create the bridge. Then through my clairvoyance and clairvoyance, and there are other things, but let's talk about this. I'm able to feel clair cognizance is also there. So clair cognizance is basically, it helps me to, I hope this is spelling is correct, feel. So through that slight opening, I'm able to see and feel. This helps me bring more clarity, making my channel strong. And then when I connect with the guides or ascended masters, and usually when the client is coming to me, what happens is the master has already somehow come to me. But initially I was not that open. I did not trust that much. So these are keys. You need to trust, you need to open up, you need to really become still and believe. Trust is the most important part. That if you're not going to trust, because when the information comes, from where it is coming and is it of value to somebody, I do not know. But and at times I would not speak up to the client and say, this is what I'm feeling. Initially I would not do that, because I was thinking, I was still in that logical mindset that it's not going to help, right? But then I started trusting, I started speaking up, opening, and when I said things, it worked out for them. So that's when I realized that the key is to trust that whatever is coming through, you feel, you have sensed, or you saw it in your vision, just say that out openly, express freely. So express the truth. Whatever you have felt, seen, whatever it is, expressing your truth is of importance here. So all this is about your this all information actually is generally helpful to anybody who wants to access. It's not like if you have never gone through any such thing, you won't be able to open yourself up to it. No, with practice you can open your third eye, you can also have all these visions and things. But this is specifically for people who have been heavy daydreamers, and now with their awakening, they know or they do not know why they get lost. Like, you have no control, you just zone out all of a sudden, right? If that's happening with you, do not fear, just trust, bring balance in your inner world, then remove your fear and the logical mind and be open to whatever comes, but also remember to pull yourself back in the 3D world and ground. So before you start all these things, ground yourself. There are so many grounding meditations you can do, self grounding. And it's just that you have energy roots deeply grounded in Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. All right. And because if you're grounded like the tree, all right, if it's not grounded, the wind comes or whatever comes, it's going to fall down. But if it's grounded properly, it won't be uprooted. That's the reason for grounding. And then you start connecting, start feeling, start sensing whatever your Clair senses. When you connect to your inner world, you'll know which of the five senses in the Clair is going to work for you, or is it working for you, or what you associate with yourself. Where can you smell something which others can't? You can hear, you can sense things. Because see, when let's take that this is the sound frequency, so microwave, x-ray, maybe they are above and below, I'm not sure. But what I'm trying to say is there are frequencies: microwave, x-ray, uv rays, all right. And then there are above here, human is only able to hear certain frequencies and voices, sound, right? But there is so much above and so much below, which we cannot hear, which we cannot see, which we cannot sense. So if you are slightly open to any five Clair senses, whether it's smell, whether it's hearing, whether it's seeing, touch, or feeling, whatever it is, if it has opened, you will be able to sense things above and below as well, beyond normal human experience. This is what it helps you with. Okay. So this was about the for the people who are now daydreaming. Please start connecting the dots, and as usual, obviously, if you want, I can also help you with this. Alright, since today's video went a little lengthy, I am going to split that into two parts. So this was the first one on clairvoyance. So if you're daydreaming, so maybe you're a clairvoyant, and I put out more of the things that I witnessed in my life, and then what I witnessed in my clients when the clients come for sessions and what they share. So that was part one. Part two is going to be it's more like an intuitive thoughts and a vision that was shown to me during my meditations while I was connecting to my guardian thought, and THOTH, God thought. And it's about how you're going to drive or walk onto the path of your life and reach your desired destination. So that will be in another part once I edit and put pictures and do the summary and everything quickly, because for a very long time I haven't done a tarot read or a pick a card read. I really like to do that. So oh, yes, I feel this is a true message. It's from the deck of light. The card is Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So if you really feel connected to this topic that I have talked about, maybe it's time for you. This is like a message for you to start on your mission and start to develop yourself. Maybe you have done that in your past life and it's laying dormant in you, or maybe you were trying to do that and you're a student and you need to learn more, or maybe you did not but you landed on this message, and maybe you are destined to be an oracle in some lifetime. But if you're a light worker, starseed, maybe you are one of this oracle, and maybe you connect truly to the above realms, and that's where you're supposed to be and bring down the information for the other beings, other souls here on this planet. The other card is you're already doing it. Yes, so I guess this is another confirmation that if you're already into this daydreaming habit and it's constant, like you zone out and you don't have much control over it. You try to control, but it's not happening. This is always going to happen with clairvoyant people. You are already doing it. All you have to do is just face your true north, your true soul's mission, your desire, your blueprint. Stop overthinking, tune in. And the last card, the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Yes. If you are supposed to be that, then it has to happen. So rather than resisting, let it flow and let the rose that you're meant to be, let it open. Do you see the rose, how beautifully it's opened? Rose represents the unconditional divine love. Then there are rose teachings. I also work with the rose teachings of how tap into your heart, womb, and yoni space to bring out the divine feminine, your creativity, your life force, your vitality, your free expression. What are the ways you can open your rose and bloom, blossom into that rose that every soul is meant to be? It's not just one or few people, but every soul is meant to blossom and be the divine rose of love. So I hope this really helped you. With lots of love and light, Princess Starlight.